Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey beyond the ordinary where the realms of the mystical and the inexplicable converge. In tonight's exploration, we delve into the riveting tales of encounters with ominous entities and unearth the mysteries that lurk within the shadows. Buckle up as we traverse the thin veil between reality and the supernatural in these captivating narratives. There's something I've held back, but I trust you to understand. Back in the summer of 2000, during my first season as a backcountry ranger in Yosemite National Park, I found myself in a peculiar situation. Alone that night, I received a call about a fellow ranger stranded at Crane Flats. I hurried to assist, navigating the dark terrain with the headlights of my 4Runner. As we approached Highway 120 around 11 at night, an eerie event unfolded. A massive dark figure emerged just 10 yards away, swiftly moving alongside us. It had an indistinct shape, resembling a large upright dog or wolf. We slowed as we reached an open area, and there it stood, towering over us. Twice my height, with an imposing chest. In the dim moonlight, I couldn't discern its face. To say it was terrifying would be an understatement. My fellow ranger, equally bewildered, couldn't make out more details in the darkness. This mysterious creature, standing on 2 legs, held our gaze for a moment before stepping into the brush and vanishing. We sped away, leaving behind a strange and unsettling night. I can't help but wonder if it's the same creature she encountered near Tulum Meadows, miles away from this spot. Let me assure you, I'm familiar with the usual wildlife in that area. Black bears, mountain lions, and deer are common sightings at night. However, what I encountered was unlike anything else. I've revisited the spot after that night, never experiencing a repeat. Yet, a lingering sense remains, with my hair standing on end in the area, especially after dark. That night was distinctly out of place, prompting me to ponder the possibility of a large alpha predator roaming the vicinity. What if everything serves as fair game for this mysterious creature? Now, onto a remarkable account shared with me recently. A woman recounted her encounter with the unknown during an early summer evening in 1993, as she enjoyed the sunset on her porch with a glass of wine. Suddenly, 15 or 20 bright lights illuminated the sky above and around her property. Initially thinking it was the police, she soon realized these stationary lights made no noise. Rising in fear, she observed several peculiar crafts, seemingly airborne entities moving in the vicinity. This tale is, without a doubt, one of the most incredible sightings I've ever heard, and I'm honored to share it. Overwhelmed by fear, she sprinted to her house, hurriedly locking all the doors in a desperate attempt to create a barrier between herself and the unexplained entities. Seeking refuge in an upstairs bedroom, she cautiously approached a window, hoping for a clearer view while remaining within the perceived safety of her home. As she peered out, a chilling sight greeted her. Towering beings near the trees and vehicles, their tall, muscular figures and pale skin with what seemed like dark hair on their bodies, added to her terror. The realization that they were not only looking into her windows, but also moving about heightened her anxiety. In a panic, she fled downstairs to the dining room, discovering that the beings were attempting to breach the house. Unable to discern their gender but sensing an indefinable difference beyond their physical appearance, she found solace at the dining table and turned to prayer. Miraculously, as she prayed, the beings vanished into thin air. Hastening back upstairs to another window, she saw the crafts and beings had all but disappeared. Despite a sleepless night of vigilant watch, they never returned. Her attempts to report the sighting to the sheriff's office were met with skepticism, as there were no official records of strange lights or aircraft in the area. Convinced of her experience, she remains unable to substantiate what she saw. In her unwavering devotion, she, a woman deeply grounded in her faith, interpreted these unsettling encounters as potential divine tests. Reflecting on the recurrent visits from these mysterious entities since the initial encounter, she contemplated a higher purpose, believing that if these were manifestations of the devil or his demons, then God must have a specific intention for her. Despite facing repeated disturbances, I offered words of reassurance, reminding her not to succumb to fear, for she was under the protective gaze of God throughout. This assurance visibly comforted her, instilling a sense of solace. Curious to delve into the details of her experiences, I gently persuaded her to share the account with me. Overcoming initial hesitation, she opened up, allowing me to witness the profound impact these occurrences had on her. It became a humbling experience, leaving me convinced that there exists something beyond our comprehension, an otherworldly force at play. Around 12 years ago, on the Navajo Nation, at the tender age of 23, I resided in a modest house on the west side. One night, as my mother visited, our peaceful slumber was disrupted when I awoke to a chilling sight. A dark figure peering into my open window. Overwhelmed by fear, my instinct was to seek refuge beneath the safety of my blanket. My mother, awakened by my distress, inquired about the disturbance. The mysterious figure, aware of being noticed, swiftly leaped off the porch and vanished into the night. My mother, attempting to shed light on the situation, turned on the lights, revealing nothing amiss. That sleepless night was etched into our memories, the fear so palpable that rest remained elusive. Years later, during a visit to my sister in Farmington, a revelation unfolded. My sister shared that her daughter experienced unsettling dreams, a recurring theme of a dark presence entering her room at night. Struck by the uncanny similarity, I recounted my own encounter, suggesting a potential connection. Although initially dismissing the significance, the daughter eventually disclosed her own distressing dreams, recounting instances of a dark entity intruding into her room, prompting terrified screams for help. These shared experiences, spanning generations, hinted at an inexplicable connection, a mysterious thread weaving through the fabric of our lives. My sister urgently summoned me to discuss an unsettling revelation. As we delved into the eerie experiences shared by her daughter, I couldn't shake the feeling that this might be a recurrence of the inexplicable events from our past. Her daughter described glimpses of a ghastly figure standing outside her window, an ominous, evil presence that mirrored the encounters we had tried to forget. The chilling thought crossed my mind. Could this be the elusive specter of a skinwalker, seeking me out but mistakenly fixating on my sister's residence, a case of misdirected malevolence? Navigating through the unknown, I must confess uncertainty about the nature of these encounters, haunted by the events that unfolded in October. This suppressed tale, concealed even from my wife, weighed heavily on my conscience. Recently, an overwhelming sense of obligation spurred me to break the silence and share this unnerving chapter of my life with the public. Reflecting on my upbringing in the wooded landscapes of northern Minnesota, where camping trips with my family instilled a deep respect for nature, I understood the potential threats posed by bears, wolves, and of course, cougars. The incident that unfolded should have found me better prepared, considering the lessons in caution and respect ingrained in me since childhood. Residing in a modest town on the edge of a sprawling state forest, my nightly commute after a midnight shift became an unsettling journey, embracing the solitude. Of the night, I cruised down the town's main road, only to be arrested by a peculiar sight, a creature on the roadside, marking the beginning of an unnerving sequence of events. On the night in question, my first impression was that of encountering a large dog or perhaps a wolf, swathed in long, grayish-brown fur and possessing an imposing height. Hunched over, the creature seemed engrossed in devouring something obscured from my view. Drawing closer, the reflection of my headlights revealed its eyes. But to my unease, they didn't gleam red like those of common animals. Instead, they emitted an eerie, yellowish-green hue. The unnerving spectacle escalated when the creature, defying nature, rose onto its hind legs and advanced toward my vehicle. Its front paws, more akin to hands with distinct fingers, added a grotesque element to the encounter. Alarmed, I decelerated, allowing for a closer examination. The creature, now pacing alongside my car, extended its snout toward the window, exhibiting a deformed visage, hunched like an elderly man with an elongated neck and devoid of a tail. It defied categorization as any known species, resembling more a distorted hybrid of deer-like features. As I distanced myself from this aberration, trepidation gripped me, my heart pounding in the aftermath of the surreal encounter. Over the ensuing weeks, a relentless curiosity compelled me to scour the area in search of this enigmatic creature, yearning for tangible evidence. Regrettably, my quest proved futile. Although reports of a large, bear-like entity in the vicinity emerged, linked to incidents of livestock fatalities. Being a Native American male rooted in the Navajo Indian Reservation, my connection to the land and its mysteries runs deep, leaving me grappling with the unsettling mystery that unfolded on that fateful night. In our family, steeped in tradition, beliefs in skinwalkers or witches have been integral to our upbringing. From a young age, I absorbed tales of these mystical beings that could seamlessly shift into any animal form. While initially skeptical of the stories recounted by my family, of sightings and eerie nocturnal sounds, recent events have cast doubt upon my skepticism. Living in our cozy two-story house, with my parents occupying the lower floor and myself on the upper floor, I returned home one evening fatigued from work. Just as I was about to enter, a peculiar sight arrested my attention. A black figure positioned on all fours, approximately 15 to 20 feet from the front door, unmoving. It seemed to fixate on me, adopting a posture akin to a curious dog with its head slightly tilted. A moment of frozen uncertainty passed before I hurriedly retreated into the house, securing the door behind me. Peering through the window, my eyes widened as I witnessed the figure metamorphose into an imposing black dog, tendrils of smoke and darkness swirling around it. What unfolded next was surreal. Crimson eyes, eerily aglow in the moonlight. Promptly, I summoned friends for reassurance, but by their arrival, the mysterious apparition had vanished without a trace. Uncertain of what I had witnessed, I ruled out the possibility of a conventional skinwalker. This encounter seemed to transcend the known, resembling more a creature of folklore, a hayhound, as some might call it. The lingering unease persists, compounded by ancestral ties to a great aunt known for practicing witchcraft and black magic. Though she passed before my time, the shadows of her occult pursuits continue to weave through the tapestry of our family's history. My great-grandmother, after whom I was named, held the esteemed position of being the oldest member of our family. She peacefully departed this world a few years ago at the remarkable age of 96. As she rested on her bed, surrounded by all 7 of her children, our family witnessed her transition. Notably, she bore the reputation of being a witch, weaving mystical practices into the fabric of her existence. In contemplating the unusual occurrences, I ponder the possibility that she might have beckoned one of these enigmatic entities before her passing. Could it be that the others linger, awaiting some signal or purpose, or perhaps merely observing the unfolding events? Adding to the mystique is the uncertainty surrounding the presence of entities in our family's abode and lives. Is it conceivable that they assume a guardian-like role, silently watching over us? The spectral ties extend further back in our lineage, with my great-great-grandfather, a shaman, resting in eternal repose on the expansive property owned by my family. A pilgrimage to his burial site, situated on the other side of our land, remains an unsettling experience, a palpable sense of sinister energy permeating the air. While these occurrences may or may not be interlinked, a shroud of unease envelops me. The intricate tapestry of our family history unravels with threads of mysticism, leaving me with an indelible sense of disquiet. As we conclude this fascinating odyssey into the unknown, we extend our gratitude to those brave souls who shared their extraordinary experiences. The tapestry of the unexplained is vast, and tonight we've only grazed the surface. If you too have a story to tell or a mystery to unravel, don't hesitate to step into the spotlight. Until next time, keep your eyes wide open, for the enigmatic may be closer than you think. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and may your nights be filled with wonder.